Bonjour, as they say. You may have noticed there's something a little bit different. You'll know that's not even a French accent. And I have to apologize almost immediately with the first couple of things. I'm terrible with accents, you know that. But we're not here to talk about my absolutely awful attempt at accents. Today, we are here to talk about the French presidential elections, or more specifically, I'm here to talk to you probably about how the French left is probably going to react to the upcoming presidential elections. And once again, I am going to be in absolute despair because lefties in France get it. They get it. But for some reason, the left in the UK is politically apathetic, seems to sometimes have no idea actually how our system works or even how to engage in it, or worst of all, just would, should we say, rather see the party that would bring some significant change to this country come in. Of course, debatable, of course, the level of change, but would rather, should we see another 4 years of the Conservatives in power, basically just to sit there for the next 4 years and go, haha, see, I told you you should have voted for us, serves you right, while all the time sitting back and saying, oh, if only the left in power, things would be so much better, but then never do anything to help the left get into power. So, what's going down in the French presidential elections? Well, ultimately and almost certainly, it is going to be probably a runoff. The first lot of the elections take place this weekend, I think on Sunday or Saturday. I can't remember. It's either Saturday the elections are held and then the results are on Sunday or something like that. I can't exactly remember. But essentially, it is a runoff. If someone manages to get again above 50%, then I think they win. But I think at least for the past couple of decades, it has always been down to a second runoff between the top two candidates of that first part. But almost certainly, we can guarantee that the following runoff, which I believe happens on the 24th of this month, is almost certainly going to be a Macron-Le Pen race. And it is without a doubt in my mind that when we saw and looked back at when this happened last time, all the French left went, we don't like Macron. We don't like his policies, what he is doing, his privatization. But oh my word, we do not want Marie Le Pen in power. So we are going to proverbially, shall we say, hold our noses and make sure that she does not get anywhere near power. And she got absolutely trounced at that last general election. I think it was 2017, I believe it was, that election took place. And she got absolutely trounced in the second round. Macron beat her by a country mile. Now, of course, Marie Le Pen really hasn't changed. She's still openly a fascist, wanting all kinds of ridiculous things. And as we've said before, if there was one good thing that Brexit certainly did, it certainly killed off the idea of Euroscepticism and the idea of leaving the EU in any other country. Even Marie Le Pen has dropped the idea of France having a national referendum to leave the EU, especially as, well, the problems have been very much clear for everyone viewing this situation. I don't really have to go into how bad Brexit really has been for this country. But overall, the French left are going to go, we don't want Le Pen in power. We don't want her anywhere near being president. So we're going to vote Macron. And it is so depressing to see so many people here in the UK turn around and go, especially at an upcoming general election, basically turn around and say, I'm not going to vote for Keir Starmer. Why? What? What do you mean you're not going to vote for Keir Starmer? Keir Starmer has openly said he is for getting rid of zero-hour contracts. The Tories have said this in their past 3-4 manifestos, I think it is. And every single time that they've said they're going to deal with this or get rid of zero-hour contracts, they've never done it. Starmer has put forward, not only just said we're not only going to get rid of zero-hour contracts, here's our plan to get rid of zero-hour contracts. We're going to have them not only, first of all, phased out, but we're going to put time limits on for, you can only work a 6 hour, you can only work a zero-hour contract for, I can't remember, I think it's 6 months before the company has to employ you. And of course, there's a whole other sections around that to do with that. Like I say, we're not going to go fully diving into that policy. Ed Miliband's come out and delivered a fantastic green industrial policy that will not only deliver jobs, but huge amounts of investment into the UK that it so desperately needs. And I banged on many, many times talking about the decarbonisation of the steel industry here in the UK. Labour wants to do that. So why on earth are you refusing to vote for the party that is saying we're going to do these things that are going to deliver some very significant change in this country, and then not vote? Because you should always vote, even if you live in a safe seat. Just go out and vote, please do. It costs you nothing except maybe a walk down to the local voting station, but go out and vote. And like I say, I have a lot of confidence that once again Marie Le Pen is going to get trounced in the upcoming presidential French elections. She is an open fascist, and the people of France do not want a fascist running their country. Not only, again, as we said, saw the absolute disaster, of course, of Brexit over here. That's why she dropped the idea of having a Frexit or a French referendum to leave the EU. She has openly and publicly stated how she wants to be friends with Vladimir Putin and have a, quote, special trade relationship with Russia. She idolizes people like Viktor Orban, who are, again, sliding places like Hungary into, right-wing authoritarianism. France is not going to vote in someone like this. And if they do vote someone in like this, expect there to be a heck of a lot of demonstrations and resistance and pushback against all the things that she is going to do. Expect that to be evident in spades, because the French are not politically apathetic like we are over here in the UK. And it's quite shameful how much how apathetic we are to politics and things like that. Now, sometimes we do get energized and we do go out and stuff, but ultimately, I'll say this now, the cost of living crisis, yeah, it is a crisis and it's going to be bad, but where's the collective response from the left? And yes, the Labour Party has said and going to tackle these issues, and I do hope that they put out policies saying this is exactly how we are going to tackle this crisis. That should be what Keir Starmer does all the time. But as I always said, one of my big problems with Starmer is that he seems to refuse to talk about openly what Labour would do if they got into power, which, again, massive bugbear of mine. But of course, we want to talk more about, of course, these French presidential elections. So I have faith, of course, that France ain't going to elect Marie Le Pen. And if they somehow do, then I expect there to be massive pushback against her policies and the direction that she wants to take France in. Because I have certainly seen over the past years how the left in France mobilize and fight back against policies or things that they are ultimately against. So, with that said, thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button on your way out. And of course, down below, there is my link to my Patreon page and a link to my one-off donation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.